And welcome back, and we're talking to Kerri from New York. How's the weather up there, by the way?
Today it's a little bit overcast, but you know what? It's not snowing, so that's all good.
Did I tell you my mom is living? I don't think we had a chance. My mom's living in Minnesota, and she's moving back in 2 weeks because she can't take it.
Yeah, I used to live there. Minnesota's rough.
Yeah, she's like, Jer, I'm coming back. I was like, I knew that was going to happen.
I love the snow. I miss it so much.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, that's awesome. But
I haven't since I was a kid.
But Kerri, the one thing you struck some things there, and I went through a very similar ending a relationship with somebody after being with them for 7 years, and what I realized is that, and I'm even still realizing it, is that I felt that I had to take care of everything. Financially, I had to make sure everything was financially paid for. Even now, I'm still seeing traces of that codependency, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh, that's an old pattern.
Right.
And I always think when I grow up, when a friend of mine and I go out to dinner, that I need to pay for it. It's just and I'll be like, oh, well, maybe it's okay for them to pay for their dinner too. And and it's because I just got so programmed in that mindset. And and then you finally just have this realization that you're almost not even letting that person be a person.
Yeah, and I think part of it too is a worthiness thing.
Yes, exactly.
I'm so unworthy, I need to pay for everything, to prove my worth, kind of thing.
Yep, and I catch myself doing it. And I'll be like, oh, well, that's. And what's really cool and very liberating about it is that, and I don't know if you'll share this with me, is that when you realize that worthiness, then you just start really feeling worthy. I mean, it just changes. Once you become aware, it almost changes your whole focus.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool experience.
Well, because what happens is we think it's all us. Like we live in this physical experience where it appears that we're so separate from everybody and everything. And really, literally, we are one, and whatever we focus on and wherever we put our attention, literally, and it's not figurative, it's not like oneness speak. It's actual, literally, it is you. So if I feel like I need to pay my way for everything, the universe says, yep, you do. Yep. And if I feel like I'm entitled to be able to do what I love and just kind of let the money flow to me and not worry about it, the universe says, yep. So, and we're so, and this is our, millions of years or whatever of our collective consciousness believing that we're separate. So it's sometimes a really humongous hurdle to be able to get through that and realize that I actually am my experience. I am this moment. I am not confined to this body. I am everything within my experience that I'm experiencing. That's all me.
Yep. Kerri, I have a question for you.
Yes.
If so, how does your beliefs and outlooks on oneness and on loving yourself reflect any religious beliefs that you have, if you have any religious beliefs?
Well, I would call myself an eclectic mix. I love Jesus, but I am not a Christian. I feel like Jesus was, here to show us who we are. And again and again and again and again and again, he said, ye are gods. You are just like me. And, instead of actually listening to the guy, we interpret things.
We were talking about this earlier.
I had the exact same outlook on it as you. We just talked about it in the car.
Well, and then further in his lessons, he says that you're an aspect of the whole body of God, but you also are that whole body.
Yeah.
And we get really hung up because what happens when you say ye are gods, the person's ego grabs on and says, no, I'm not. And then they get mad or they feel insecure and everything else. But they miss the part that God is everything.
Right, absolutely. I mean, God is absolutely. It's like I have an analogy of a river and a cup. And a friend of mine asked me this koan once, and he said, how do you put the river into the cup? And, it's one of those things that it explodes your mind. And what you do is you throw the cup into the river. And then the consciousness that is the river flows in and out of the cup as it desires. And that is how you do it. And what happens, you are both the cup and the river. You're the cup that holds that bit of consciousness, and you're the entire river that's flowing through the cup.
Yep.
So it's like the wave and the particle.
That's
exactly
beautiful.
what you just said.
That's beautiful.
And the thing is, I mean, I was talking to Jeremy, and I feel like a lot of modern day religions are completely missing the point of Jesus. And I said, Jesus is here to be an example, or he was here to be an example and to show us that it's okay to make mistakes, and that, that we're people and we're going to mess up. That was the point of Jesus. The point of Jesus was not to force anybody to act a certain way.
Or bow down to him.
Or bow down. It wasn't like
Right.
Jesus was there to just set an example for people. And I think that was done.
Yeah.
I had a really cool experience. I was speaking at a Christian church, actually, and they had a big picture of Jesus behind me, and I was on the pulpit, and something just said to me, tell them that they're not supposed to worship me. And I was like, those when those things come into you, you kind of argue with yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to tell them that. And so I said, all right, the big guy in the picture behind me, he wants you to start walking right next to him. He wants you to stop thinking he's your savior. I said, wait a second. He is your savior in a way, but only because he was an example.
Right.
And it's actually the consciousness that he brought into him that's actually your savior, because he realized that. And so,
did you get struck by lightning or?
Sort of when I you know how
By you?
when the minister stands at the back and they all come and talk to you, they just kind of shook my hand and said, that was very interesting. That was very interesting. So I mean, I know you've had moments when you're speaking, Kerri, that comes up where you say something and the whole room goes. Whoosh.
Yeah, it's kind of like, where did that come from? Yeah.
Just planting seeds. That's all.
Yeah.
So.
Good.
Yeah.
That was the seed you planted.
Consciousness.
So proud of you.
So, Kerri, so how is the when you started this journey? I know we've talked about this on the phone, but I know you have a really special spiritual teacher, and you started in this journey. It's very similar to me, but can you tell us a little about the beginning of your journey, your soul journey?
Well, my teacher kind of came in a little later than when I started, but he's like my best friend. And I haven't spoken to him much recently, but this is a person who every day for about 7 years we connected for probably an average of 3 hours a day. Sometimes it was 12, sometimes it was, not at all, but pretty much every day. And he had his first Enlightenment experience when he was 12, and just kind of helped me after we met to get to a better understanding of my true nature. What he would do is basically what I do now with clients. He would constantly ask me and help me see that a lot of the things that I believed were handed to me, and they weren't actually my true nature, that they were beliefs, like beliefs about relationships and beliefs about, what I should do or shouldn't do. And he just constantly asked, and he constantly questioned everything that I was saying. And ultimately, I realized, in the same way that Jesus says it, that I am the way, that God is in me, that whatever I feel is right. And it's not these laws and rules and regulations and shoulds that we perceive govern our lives. It's actually the consciousness that moves me, that is all of everything, that is my source. And, I am the way and the truth and the light, and that spirit that animates this being called Kerri is what I truly am.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kerri. We'll be back more with Kerri Kannan, a profound author with this. You're listening to Soul Talk. Stay tuned.